Welcome. I'm Mark O'Connell, Executive Director of the Wisconsin Counties Association. I am here today with Cathy Sandeen, Chancellor of the UW Colleges and Extension, talking about the Extension reorganization. Cathy, welcome. Let's have a little chat here about the Extension reorganization. What's happening,
Absolutely.
what's happening, what's not happening, and what's going to happen. Just a couple of questions for you. Cathy, counties put over $20 million into county extension every year. How is this investment being reflected in the reorganization effort?
Well, we've been in touch with the counties from the very beginning. When I sent out the first draft report of ideas back in December, that went out to the counties. So they've been our partner in this all along, and their concerns, their interests, their ideas are really built into the process we have for planning.
This process, as it's a lengthy process, it's an important process, it's a complicated process. Last budget, the extension saw a significant cut. Is this reorganization all about a budget cut, or is there something else that's related to this as well?
I think it's two things, really. So the budget cut, which is the largest cut to the state GPR funding for cooperative extension, we had the largest budget cut in this biennium. That's on the heels of many others where we have trimmed and tried to figure out how to do what we needed to do, our programs with less money. But with this budget cut, which is $3.2 million, 8% of the total GPR contribution, it was just too big for us to think about trimming around the edges. It was time to ask those hard questions. At the same time, there'd been an initiative in cooperative extension called Reimagining Extension, and maybe you recall, I think maybe you and some of your counterparts and county people participated in some listening sessions, thinking about the future of cooperative extension. It is so much a part of the fabric of Wisconsin, and as I drive around the state, especially in the summer, meeting our colleagues and seeing the people that we serve and learning about these communities, it is so important. I mean, it just becomes so much reinforced in my mind how important we are to the state of Wisconsin. At the same time, we've had the same structure for 100 years. The world's changing. Needs and priorities change. So this is an opportunity for us to really look at things and think about doing things in a different way for the future.
It strikes me in talking with legislators, people from around the state of Wisconsin, if we've had the same structure for 100 years, whether it changes or not, it's certainly time to take a look.
Absolutely, that's a good point. It doesn't hurt to take a look and envision another structure. So that's what we're doing.
With extension, we have, and I've got personal experience with most of the extension agents in the state, with extension, we have some of the finest, brightest, most caring, intelligent, connected people you could ever get your hands on. But this extension reorganization is causing some nervousness. What are we doing to keep the people that we have and attract that new bright talent that we need in the Gen Xers and millennials, and I guess as of this year, the Generation Z who's entering the workforce?
That's right. Well, I think the key is three things: communication, communication, communication. It's very important that we stay in touch with our colleagues and let them know what we're up to. This process has taken us a little bit longer than we thought to set up. As you know, we have multiple work groups, about 200 individuals from within cooperative extension and within the counties and county officials and so forth. And it really, we underestimated the amount of time it would take to organize all that and get people going. And now they are going, and now we are making sure that all of our constituents, but particularly our faculty and staff, know what we're up to. Again, as I travel around the state and talk to them face to face, they are excited about the possibilities. So one of the challenges that we have in our organization is the low level of compensation that we're currently able to pay given our current structure. One of the things we hope to do under the new structure is to create jobs, maybe bigger jobs and bigger compensation, bigger salaries, so that we can reward people. We need to think about that. That will retain them, that will attract new talent. Also, the integration of more technology and more systematic and proactive collaboration is something that I'm hearing that our colleagues want. So I think they'll see something very positive, and fortunately they're hanging in there with us as we go through this process.
Well, maybe that's a good term, because if I'm an extension employee, and a good one, I'm going to want to stick with this program, because extension may well change, but if I am a contributor, I'm an asset, I want to stay with this operation because opportunities will come my way.
Absolutely. And I'm feeling, as I'm speaking to our staff, that they understand that and that they're excited.
I did a recent analysis, and it's a close three-way race. The governor, you, and me. Who's traveling the state more? You were just at the Racine County Fair, but you travel all over this state. What are you hearing from people all over the state?
Well, with regard to cooperative extension, how much they really appreciate it. One thing that is not as apparent is the connection between the services they receive and the University of Wisconsin system. So I think this has been a great opportunity for us to educate the people of Wisconsin. When there's a cut to the UW system, it filters down and it affects all our institutions, and it can personally affect their programs. So I think they're understanding that, and they're willing to advocate for us. One of the things that we're doing is launching a new initiative where, as a first step, we just want to gather data. We just want to gather their stories in one place so that we can have a more coherent idea of our impact throughout the state. Big and small, broad and deep. We need to start capturing that information.
Well, it strikes me that if we're going to have a successful state, we need a successful private sector. If we're going to have a successful private sector, we need to look at the things that the private sector needs. And in our new millennium knowledge technology-based economy, the number one resource for private sector profit is smart talent. And in our new millennium economy, businesses can move almost overnight. So wouldn't we want to be a state with a lot of young, smart talent? Extension is part of that. Our two-year colleges are part of that. Our university system is part of that. And our tech college system is part of that. So it strikes me that if people are saying to you all over the state, I want a successful economy, I want a great state, I want a place where our children have opportunities, then extension, our two-year colleges, are a natural place for us to provide investment.
Absolutely. I'm glad you see that. So it becomes my job to make that connection for them. We have been so locally oriented in the past that people know their local office, their local campus, their local extension agent or educator, but helping them understand the combined statewide impact is my job, and I'm working very hard and diligently to do that.
It seems like one of the, I guess you might call it a rallying cry, of the extension reorganization is extension needs to be flexible, relevant, and digital. What kind of reaction are you getting to that sort of a, I guess, motto?
It's overwhelmingly positive. So already we have a history of being very relevant. We are just in time, applied research brought out to the hands of the people who need it. We need to be a little more flexible. So we cannot have people with specialized expertise in every single county of the state. We need to think about a system where we share expertise across and find it where it's needed and get it where it's needed, wherever it originates from. So that flexible idea. Digital is something that our clients, young and old, are screaming for. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, why can't we have an app for that? Yeah. And even something like Master Gardeners, where you think of it as being very hands-on. Well, our Master Gardeners want to be able to upload what they're learning. They want to be able to download information in real time. The problem that I'm learning as I travel around the state is that we need better broadband access in this state. You talked about retaining young talent or attracting young talent. Well, they're not going to move to a place if they don't have broadband. So we are going to have to evolve our digital footprint along with the capacity of the state. But it is definitely a direction the world is going. It's where our state needs to go, and so cooperative extension is going to go there too.
Changes in cooperative extension. We're in the process, and we've got a long way to go. We were here today, ladies and gentlemen, with Cathy Sandeen, Chancellor of the two-year colleges and Extension. Thanks for joining us, and we'll chat with the Chancellor once again in the future.